When did the popular kid's life fall apart in a few seconds? Lost control of his car when he and his best friend were driving to Taco Bell at night. He came out of it with a fractured collarbone. His friend died on the spot. He was really close with his friend's parents too, and vice versa. He made a few posts on Facebook on how he was an idiot and how sorry he was. The dead friend's sister and parents made it very clear that they didn't blame him. It was winter, black ice, and he was 100% sober. Before he was, like, a stereotypical popular dude, but in a wholesome way. Dropped out of school and became addicted to painkillers. Don't know what happened to him afterwards, but it was just sad for everyone. When he had an affair with his best friend's mom, dad died a few years before, and they got caught, so the mom got arrested for sex with a minor. The friend had to go live with other family with her younger siblings. Her mom was diagnosed with dozens of brain tumors the beginning of our senior year, and died before Christmas. Girl went from stable, well off and beautiful to a wreck, then off the map. After that, we lost 4 students violently, including 2 sisters stabbed by their stepdad. Staff quit. Pretty much no one in our senior class made it in life. Suicides followed graduation. 1999 was a really tough year for our school. Got hit by a car. Went from bully to paraplegic. She was a bully. Nothing good to say about her. But that is a rough end. 3 popular kids went swimming in a quarry. Only 2 came out. It sucks because the one that died was popular for all the right reasons. He was a genuinely good dude. I was the weird kid. But his locker was right next to mine and he was friendly every single day to every single person. He ended up becoming a 2nd grade teacher and molested little girls in his class. Now he's in prison for an incredibly long time. When he hit and killed a state trooper on the freeway while the trooper was out of his car trying to remove debris from the road. Had this cliff that was really dangerous. And to keep kids away, the genius locals spread around the rumor that it was haunted. Naturally, the cool kids wanted to go there like all the time. Once the gang of those supposedly cool kids, 4 in total, went there and no one really knows what happened. One kid jumped to his death. The stories of the rest didn't pan out correctly. Each one had a different version. They were high. No one was jailed. But all 3 were depressed and eventually spiraled out of control. One OD'd 2 years later. One was in a car accident, drunk, and one committed suicide. One of the most popular girls in my high school had a blood clot that killed her in her sleep in the middle of the school year. He got made fun of because he wanted to wait to have sex with his new GF, popular girl, so he caved and did it. Teen pregnancy. I actually ran into one of the super popular kids at the local bar when I came home from college. She would never give me the time of day in high school and I for sure thought she didn't even know I existed. But she approached me at the bar, super drunk, and said, "Hey, didn't I go to high school with you?" She then proceeded to tell me she wished she had been nicer to more people in high school and that she has no idea what she's doing with her life. Honestly, feels good to know that she's thought about how she treated people back then. Not sure if that's the norm or just a weird occasion. Well, a super popular cheerleader girl at my school ended up falling down some stairs and broke her back and got paralyzed and has to use a wheelchair ever since. So yes, that is one example answer. Stairs are not a joke. His parents divorced and he started acting out. He went from good grades and clubs to failing in drugs. The stud quarterback about 2 years ahead of me has been Narcaned at least half a dozen times. He might be dead now. Not sure if that was a problem for him in high school, but I heard he had a nasty pain pill habit in college and probably transitioned to heroin from there. In the 5th grade, our terrible teacher at the time told the entire class that the reason the popular kid acted out was because he didn't get enough attention at home. She did this in front of the entire class. And he left the room sobbing. My entire perspective of him changed that day. And we all already knew that the teacher was a terrible person. But that solidified it in all of our minds. Unfortunately, a cheerleader from my school had a four-wheeling accident that left her in an almost vegetative state. Through years and years of hard work on her part, she's been able to gain a little more independence. However, she'll never be exactly the same as she was before the accident. It's really sad and crazy how quickly your life can change from an accident. In the 8th grade, there was a really popular kid in my school that was the head of the football team. He was also a huge bully. Would beat nerds up for no reason at least twice a week. One day he either got drunk or high and jumped off a bridge as a prank. I'm not sure how he didn't know that the lake he jumped into was riddled with underwater trees, as you can see the branches during the daytime. Either way, I don't think his body was found. Our school held a huge memorial for him, but I will always remember him as a bully. Since everyone is talking about people dying, I was the popular kid whose life fell apart in seconds and didn't die. I was a good student, athlete, etc., etc. But I sold weed. One day, I came into class and got arrested in front of my AP history class and escorted out of the school between classes so everyone was in the hall. I got expelled, kicked out of parents' house, and kept getting in trouble. As far as everyone I grew up was concerned, I ended up in jail. My life spiraled, but then I joined the Marines, which definitely helped me, but then I got badly injured and had to fight the VA over 10 years for my benefits. It was a rough 15 years. One day I decided to try coding and realized it was the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. I now write software for banks and live by the beach in SoCal. Everyone still thinks I'm in jail, LOL. The captain of the football team underwent surgery his senior year. I was 13 on the middle school team. His younger brother and I were very close, so I was around him a lot. I looked up to him like an older brother. He drove me to early practices, was very smart, dated a pretty cheerleader, not a mean bone in his body. He had it all. For a 13-year-old, he was my hero. After his surgery, he got hooked on painkillers. He went from painkillers to heroin. He was arrested multiple times for theft and drug possession. This went on for years. I would always ask my friend from middle school how he was doing. It never got better. He died last year. Drugs suck. I miss my hero. This guy tried to drop all his friends to become a popular kid. BC, he had a massive ego, but he ended up just losing all his friends and getting nothing in return. When she got pregnant and a few years later she moved to another school district. When we walked across the stage, I was amazed by how much simpler university relationships were compared to high school. Popular people who picked on me in high school were suddenly desperately in need of a friendly face, and it was all water under the bridge. This guy I used to hang out with in elementary school was pretty overweight, but I'd had the biggest crush on him. I lost track of him for a few years, but by high school he came back and had lost all the weight. He was pretty athletic and was generally well liked. I didn't talk to him, but the guy seemed decent. I guess he liked driving like an idiot. The year after he graduated, he wrapped his car around a pole. They had to use the jaws of life to pull him out of his car, but it was too late. Had died on impact. There had been multiple reports that night of people calling the cops to complain about his reckless driving around town. I just remember that chubby little boy I used to spend recess with every day.